They say leadership is not a title, it's a choice. Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Zora and this is my video montage about educational leadership. My experience as a leader started from my childhood. I was a rebellious girl and a warrior at heart. While initially being very sensitive, when I first came into workplace, I discovered my very first and important turning point, overcoming the obstacle of taking things personally and getting used to different personalities of each and every person. While my educational background started off in the field of microbiology, the turning point in my life was discovering my true passion in education. After having spent 3 years on acquiring English fluency skills, I went to work in international schools where I had the privilege to work with amazing mentors. A British supervisor showed me the importance of thorough organization, and my long-term principal, my role model, who leads by example with deep compassion, accepts individual differences, introduces counselors and opportunities for professional development, and uses intelligent personal talents to build a strong school. Later, at Hakim International School, I was faced with a situation of my tech phobia due to COVID-19 and spent nights learning how to use online platforms with the help of puppets to keep kids engaged in learning. Such resilience helped me prepare for my next very important milestone, which was 3 years working at Bahçeşehir College in Turkey, where I made curriculums, lesson plans, which were sent to all parts of the country. Currently in Canada, pursuing my master's and working at St. John's School, volunteering full-time with first and second grades, and being a teacher on call, I constantly bridge theory and practice. The philosophy of good thoughts, good words, and good deeds lies at the center of my platform. Good thoughts develop my internal self-image. Good words motivate me to be a compassionate communicator. And good deeds encourage me to support my school community through tangible actions. Based on the model of servant leadership and transformational stewardship developed by Greenleaf, my personal platform consists of 9 main beliefs. First of all, I believe about students that they are all adorable, unique people who learn differently. Considering teachers, I believe they are diverse people with rich backgrounds and cultures who are respectful and highly competent individuals, bringing special gifts to our school community. Speaking about leadership, I believe that is intentional and conscious choice. As Simon Sinek says in his book, Start with Why. It requires active listening, working hard on becoming the last speaker, having vision, radiating positive energy, as John Gordon says in his book Positive Leadership, and taking care of group members, having the ability to ask for help. Speaking about schools, I believe they are places for transformation of children who face different opportunities and challenges to grow spiritually, mentally, and socially. About supervision, I believe that it is a very serious responsibility that may harm children if not performed properly. But it is a great way to lead staff to success and fulfillment if done effectively and supportively. Considering community, I believe it is a place of diversity with rich perspectives where people can learn from each other. As for justice, I believe it's the cornerstone of the society that should never be neglected, providing equality equity, dignity, and equal opportunities for all. Concerning faith, I believe it's the cornerstone of every educational community. And finally, I believe about learning that it is a continuous and essential phenomenon, allowing every person to make improvements, succeed, and leave legacy. As Jonathan Eckert says, good leaders are not superheroes acting alone. We develop capacity through character, competence, and collaboration. Being grounded in these beliefs, my commitment is to lead by humble service, empowering everybody around me to prosper. Leadership is demonstrated in everyday activities such as hiring, professional development, and supervision. In the hiring process, the technical competence of being able to verify one's certification at BC Teacher Regulation Branch is the first criterion. However, as Zach Herman states, one needs to be mission fit beyond having technical criteria. It means that we have to recognize the unique skills of our people and integrate them into organization to find candidates who would fit into organizational culture, demonstrate compassion, and be committed to serving diverse students. Scenario-based interviews provide a way to ensure fairness and avoid any bias. Continued professional development, mentoring, and active involvement are essential for the retention of educators. According to our classroom literature on the leadership needs, good leadership is all about finding balance between being confident and humble, performing self-care to be able to take care of other people, and dealing with uncertainties as mentioned by R. Scott Rodin and Jonathan Eckert. It also requires a proactive attitude, shifting focus to solve problems sooner, delegating tasks completely with full trust, and setting an approachable, decisive example. My experience at Hakim School taught me that when educators face major shifts like adopting new technologies, leaders must step in with support rather than judgment. As an educator, this taught me that professional growth is a shared responsibility. That is why, as I prepare to step into my role as teacher on call in British Columbia, I am proactively leading my own development. I am dedicated to studying Canadian primary literacy, numeracy, and especially classroom management, learning from video resources to see how Canadian schools utilize positive, proactive strategies to create structured, joyful learning spaces. According to the leadership frameworks of Northhouse, supervision and professional development involve replacing fear with continued learning. To achieve that, leaders are supposed to implement regular, frequent classroom walkthroughs that involve analysis of instructional strategies and student participation, as suggested by Donald Couture et al. They are complemented by informal evaluation consisting of spontaneous organic conversations that are being recorded using digital tools such as DigiCoach, as emphasized by Susie Buss. Finally, this approach results in formative formal evaluations using Charlotte Danielson framework, which include 3 to 5 strategies applicable for the certain teacher's development level. Just like it happened to me when my mentors were evaluating my performance. The incorporation of biblical worldview in school administration entails practicing servant leadership as described by Robert Greenleaf. This is depicted in John chapter 13, where Jesus exemplifies leadership through service and humility after washing his disciples' feet, reminding us that no messenger is greater than the one sending him. My duty as an educational leader will be to manage the talents and capabilities of both the staff and students. According to literature we have read, leaders must exhibit confidence and humility, overcome adversity, and deal with uncertainty. At the early stage of my professional life, I was advised that making personal issues out of challenges in the workplace limits growth. As stated by Douglas Stone and Peter Northouse, a servant leader is able to overcome the sensitivity of personal issues, giving honest and caring answers during difficult conversations. The servant leader uses shared rather than coercive leadership. The integration of Indigenous worldviews is critical in helping build relational, inclusive, and community-based leadership. It is important to understand from the First Nations principles of learning that learning is fundamentally relational, holistic, and wellness-focused. In my experience as a volunteer working with grade 1 and 2 students in BC, I have seen the importance of adopting a holistic approach to teaching along with a positive management of the classroom environment. Through such practices like brain breaks, reinforcement, and avoidance of negativity, we provide an environment for all children where they feel connected. Indigenous teachings teach us that leadership is an important responsibility to the future generations of leaving behind a legacy of wisdom and reconciliation. The belief that all people, students, teachers, parents, and co-workers are created in the image of God, that means imago Dei, and are therefore dignified, respected, and cared for is fundamental to all supervisory and leader activities. This belief has been illustrated by the example of my former principal, who spoke from the heart when relating to all the staff members and realized that our diversities were a source of strength. Because all humans have sacred value, the process of supervision should not be punishing and dehumanizing. Even in difficult situations like teacher performance and behavior management, the discussions have to take place privately and respectfully. As Gary Vaynerchuk says, every day we build our legacy through what we do. Applying the theory of understanding by design, I decide to reverse engineer my legacy as an educational leader from today. From a tough fighting spirit kid to being an educator worldwide, creating national lesson plans in Turkey, to being a TOC in BC, all these things have added to my determination of proactive leadership. My commitment as an educational leader are to be a leader of character, competence, and collaboration by thinking, saying, and doing good things. To realize the fact that it is not a position but an act of leadership, as it is all about making decisions of serving others, spreading positive energy, and taking responsibility. To develop a supervisory climate where feedback promotes innovation and technologically resilient environment instead of fear. To respect the intrinsic dignity of all individuals, respecting Indigenous knowledge, biblical servant leadership, and making truly engaging classroom environments. To close my reflection, I am inspired by an anonymous poem shared in our course, I Will Do More. As an educational leader, I commit that I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do by the grace of God, I ought to do. I will do more than care. I will help. I will do more than dream. I will work. I will do more than teach. I will inspire. I will do more than give. I will serve. And I will do more than talk. I will act. And I will be more than good. I will be good for something. Thank you for joining me on this journey as I continue growing into a transformational educational leader.